acknowledge only God. In John 10:33-5, for example, Jesus is accused of the blasphemy of claiming to be God. He replies, citing Psalm 82, "Is it not written in your law, I, meaning God, in the Psalm, said, you are gods?" So the law uses the word gods of those to whom the word of God was addressed. Paul, in effect, shuts God aside and establishes, for the first time, worship of Jesus. Jesus as a kind of equivalent of Adonis, of Tammuz, of Attis, or of any one of the other dying and reviving gods who populated the Middle East at the time. In order to compete with these divine rivals, Jesus had to match them point for point, miracle for miracle. It is at this stage that many of the miraculous elements become associated with Jesus' biography, including in all probability his supposed birth of a virgin and his resurrection from the dead. They are essentially Pauline inventions, often widely at odds with the pure doctrine promulgated by James and the rest of the community in Jerusalem. It is hardly surprising, therefore, that James and his entourage should be disturbed by what Paul is doing. Yet Paul knows full well what he is doing. He understands with a surprisingly modern sophistication the techniques of religious propaganda. He understands what is necessary to turn a man into a god, and he goes about it more astutely than the Romans did with their emperors. As he himself pointedly acknowledges, he does not pretend to be purveying the historical Jesus, the individual one James and Peter and Simon knew personally, and the contrary he acknowledges in 2 Corinthians that the community in Jerusalem are promulgating another Jesus. Their representatives, he says, call themselves servants of righteousness, a characteristic Qumranic usage. They are now, to all intents and purposes, Paul's adversaries, in accordance with instructions issued to him. Paul returns from Antioch to Jerusalem around AD 48-9. It is generally believed and meets with the community's leadership. Not surprisingly, another dispute ensues. If Acts is to be believed, James, for the sake of peace, agrees to compromise, thereby making it easier for pagans to join the congregation. Somewhat improbably, he consents to relax certain aspects of the law, while remaining adamant on others. Paul pays lip service to the leadership. He still, at this point, needs their endorsement, not to legitimize his teachings, but to legitimize and ensure the survival of the communities he has founded abroad. He is already, however, bent on going his own way. He embarks on another mission of travel and preaching, punctuated Acts 18:21 by